welcome to our presentation. Today we'll be pitching our business model to you, the Sims Education. Firstly, I'd like to introduce the developers of this service and product. Besides me, I have Chanel, Yuho, and Anusha. The Sims Education was initially developed due to an entrepreneurship bug that presented a range of frustrations between the team. As students, ourselves expected to complete up to 4 days of contact hours per week. The commitment of studying for such a length of time has caused strains on other areas of our lives.
Physical contact hours provide a range of challenges for students, or those who would like to study due to a variety of reasons, such as living rurally, family and work commitments, and restrictions for those living with disability and disease.
Our Sims Education product is a reality software and headset to educate higher education students. Currently, there are pains around travel and travel costs and lack of free choice in routine which students struggle with. However, having a virtual reality headset saves time in travel costs, flexibility of study routine, and no time wasted in traveling. And the gains and game creators show that there is more flexibility and self-paced learning available in a supported home environment, which provides a futuristic and new option for learning and a fast and easy way to connect with other students in a stimulating way.
As a team, we conducted a PESTAL analysis which provided a thorough understanding of our business and essentially the strengths and weaknesses that were outlined during this process. We looked at the 6 key areas of the PESTAL, which was political, economical, technological, social, environmental, and legal. Our product, the Sims Education, is being developed at a time of fast technological advancement and can play an important role in student education. Furthermore, economically, with the extension of the $20,000 write-off until 2019 for small business owners, the incentive provides a timely benefit in the development of our product. For the past 27 years, the Department of Education has advocated for student equity in higher education with a fair chance for all and remains an important value politically. With the opportunity that simulated education could bring to Victorians, but also the nation, Sims Education could be a welcome solution. With people from major cities being twice as likely to hold a higher education than regional and remote locations, and with the expected increase of 18% revenue on technology over the next years, it displays a demand for such a product. However, for the product to be effective, it would require access to internet, preferably 5G, to provide an optimal experience. And for those in rural locations, this may be a challenge to overcome. It is also important to consider the legal ramifications of a socially connected simulated experience that will need to meet the requirements of the Federal Privacy Act 1988 to provide safety and security for consumers. To have greater insight into our consumer, we completed a survey using surveymonkey.com to gain feedback from university students on their access into university. This included asking questions such as how much time is spent on travel per week, the length of time it takes to travel to university, whether students believe that they would achieve more if they didn't have to travel to uni each week, and what was the greatest deterrent into coming to uni. The biggest deterrent of coming to uni was travel, and for 60% or more of the students, it took an hour or longer to get to university. Students also believed that if they had more time, they would have more time to achieve within their studies. Students are also spending up to $40 a week just on travel expenses to be able to get to university. And for students on a budget, that is quite a lot of money. Therefore, 70% of the participants answered that they would rather complete their classes from home. This leads to the solution to our bug, the Sims Education. It is simulated learning through virtual reality, which was identified as the solution for students, as it would provide higher education from any location with internet access, while providing greater flexibility to learn at different times to suit individual routines. This is how the Sims Education will work. Upon enrolment, students will be delivered their headset by mail, which will include access to Sims software on the university website. Students will then be able to place the headset on, and enter a simulated reality where they will be able to attend lectures, complete practical assessments, and socialise in simulated meetings with other students for discussion, completing assignments, and building a community. This allows courses such as nursing and occupational therapy that requires a great deal of hands-on experience, a very similar experience with virtual reality.
When looking at the business model canvas summary in the customer segments, our target customer segment is students studying in Australian universities. We believe our solution will be particularly important and helpful for students with a disability and students living in remote and regional areas. There has been a 106% increase in students with a disability between 2008 and 2016, yet there has been very little adaptation to universities to suit their individual needs. Individuals from major cities are 2 times more likely to hold a degree than individuals from remote and regional areas due to the lack of access between universities and remote regions. A survey was conducted to gain feedback from students regarding their weekly travel to universities. Customer feedback confirmed that students would prefer to complete classes from home rather than travelling to university to complete their degree due to the amount of time, energy, and money spent on travel. The value proposition. Our virtual reality goggles will expand education as we now know it. The common customer problems of students include the amount of time, energy, and money spent on travel. Sims education is a person-centered approach that ensures that the needs of the students are met through enabling them to engage in their education within their desired environment, regardless of their disability or location, rather than attending university on campus. The realistic nature of the virtual reality will also promote individuals who may have a physical disability to actively participate without having the physical capacity to do so in the current education system. Through marketing research, we were able to determine that the value propositions that were hypothesized were evident in current students' university experiences. Travel costs were approximately $25 per week, which provided a flow-on effect where 70% of students commented that they would rather stay home to study. The channels. The initial stages of creating our service will involve building rapport with universities to facilitate ease of access to our service. Trialling our product will be conducted face-to-face in classrooms across various university courses to raise awareness and understanding of the product's impact on the education of students. Building our network will involve travelling across universities and conducting trials as described above. Feedback will be obtained from the trials to help the customers evaluate the value proposition of the product, which will allow our business to make any necessary changes and updates to the service. Our service will build its profile and create targeted advertising content to students through their student email and through the university's social media pages. Finally, an accessible website will be made available for the hiring of the service, and post-purchase customer support will assist users with any troubleshooting or technical difficulties they may be faced with usage. This will be a 24/7 website with helpline and online chat facilities, so students don't feel the need to call within business hours, but more so when they are likely to encounter issues at home while studying. Customer relationships. Our aim is to create a person-centered relationship with our customers through a holistic approach. By taking a holistic approach, we will not only take the customer's needs and desires of the service into consideration, but also their physical, mental, and emotional health and well-being. We will also build a level of co-creation into our approach through accommodation of our customers' choices through surveys, feedback, and product trials. Customer acquisition with the students will be gained through referrals from the universities. Our ability to capture students' retention of using the product will be conducted through changes in the numbers of students hiring the Sims education service. Key resources. Our predominant approach for our business initiative to successfully function will require several elements that can provide strong and sustainable fundamentals. Therefore, engaging project management within the business will help processes run smoothly. The main resource required is the design of the Sims education algorithm with the help from IT support and tech designers. A significant resource requirement of the Sims education is fast internet access for consumers, with a requirement of no less than NBN standards for our product to minimize any connection glitches whilst in use. In addition, having close relationships with educators and universities is essential in having the product implemented as an educational tool within Australian universities. Other resources that need to be accounted for is office space and storage and the materials that are required for the manufacturing of the goggles. Finally, creation of a website for hiring purchases of the service for the revenue stream is required, and for the post-purchase customer service. Key activities. Our key activities involve providing an access of tertiary education to customers through virtual reality simulations. We offer a virtual reality simulated tertiary education, which entails utilizing a simulated environment where the customers can receive auditory and visual feedback. This can allow them to receive their tertiary education with a similar/identical classroom environment whilst being at home. Another key component of our mission and value is to provide universal access of the tertiary education to the customers with disabilities who are not capable of travelling to university. In order to achieve this for our customers, software development, service trials, and further software development following customer feedback is required. Key partnerships. We aim to develop an initial strategic alliance with Swinburne University of Technology to develop software that will cater to the needs of the educators and students. The software is to be trialled with educators and students, and feedback is to be attained by their expert opinion. Therefore, we can develop a product that is useful and lead to the optimal learning experience. Partnerships will also be developed with government bodies such as the NDIS and the Victorian Department of Education and Training by advocating the value of simulated learning to widen participation of higher education to disadvantaged populations such as those living rurally or living with disability. We will also develop partnerships with a range of experts in the field of software and engineering, including Microsoft and Samsung, to create the virtual world within the Sims education service, as well as the virtual reality goggles. Cost structure. The following costs must be considered to implement the plan: designing the algorithm for the virtual reality stimulated world, web hosting fee for the virtual reality simulated world, production of the virtual reality goggles, product trials with current students, marketing, which is inclusive of social media advertising, Google search ads, accessible travel websites, partnership fee with some study agency companies for the advertisement, partnership fee with Swinburne University of Technology for the advertisement, salaries of staff, engineers, IT professionals, etc., and superannuation and parental leave. Revenue streams. The Sims education will be partially funded by the Education Department and the NDIS. Our net cash will be dependent on the customer segment through a rental fee of the simulated program and the headset. The rental fee will be recurrent per semester. The fee of our service will be cheaper than the student amenities fee, which our service will replace, with part of our revenue paying the university for referral fees.
Now we'll provide a demonstration of our virtual reality Sims education, which will be in first person.